Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing a book review on Lady Midnight. So I've read this book a few times now, so it's like not a first opinion book review. I read it before I started a book channel and I love them, so I thought I would just do it. Better late than never, right? So as I've mentioned in my other videos, I got this series on Vancouver Buy and Sell for like 20 bucks, and they're like all hardcovers signed by Cassandra Clare, and I'll show you the dust jacket. It's so nice. So each dust jacket has a picture inside. So I thought I got a pretty good deal there. So when I read these books, I don't know, I guess it was last year for the first time, and the only word I can think of is feverish, because I couldn't stop reading them. I didn't do anything else. I had like, I don't know what I neglected at that time, probably school, which isn't unusual. So I read like, I don't know how long, it's probably like a weekend. I read all 3 of the books and they were amazing. I couldn't put them down. And so I just reread them like a week ago, and I thought I'd do a little review. I didn't stop and write down like after each page. I kind of flipped through it after and like decided which were my favorite parts, plus I remember it pretty well. Okay, I'm gonna make it sound really cheesy. I can basically sum it up, well, some part of it up. Forbidden love. That is a main part of all 3 books. Like the main part. It sounds super cheesy, but it's really good. Anyway, so to start it off, I just love how it starts. Not the prologue, chapter 1. It starts when she's on the phone with Cameron, and I'm just gonna read the conversation because it's so funny. So Cameron is her boyfriend, if you haven't read this. Oops. Oh, and I guess if you haven't read this book, go read it. And now spoilers will start to come up, so stop watching if you haven't read it. So it starts off, she's on the phone, she's like, it's just not working out. The relationship, I mean. Let's spread out over a few pages. And then Christina's like, Emma, remember, use your I statements. And then she's like, this is about me, not you. I am sick of you. So I just love that. It's so funny. Why not be honest? Except that's not the best way, but I think that's so funny. And I just love how it's a strong female lead as well. Like her main goal, like in the first book, is mostly to find her parents' killer, but she also wants to be the best shadow hunter. She looks up to Jace, and I just think that's so awesome. Okay, now let's talk about Julian, because he's such a good character. He literally takes care of all 4 of the kids and the institute, and he started doing that at 12 years old. Like, can you imagine that? That's crazy, having that much responsibility. It really forced him to grow up, which is great. Also because teenage boys in books are always really stupid. I mean, he has his stupid moments, but he's a lot more mature than most people would be his age. And that he had to kill his father, like, that's crazy. Mind you, he was possessed, I think. Yeah, he wasn't his actual father, but it was like his father's body. Sounds gross. But anyway, he had to kill him, which is crazy. I love how the worlds like intertwine between all of Cassandra Clare's books, like Emma, the main character, and Jem from, oh my god, Clockwork Princess, those books. How they're related. He's still kicking around because he was part of the Silent Brothers, and then he kind of just, I'm not going to be part of the Silent Brothers, and he left, and people are like, you can do that? I love it. I also think it's weird because like I read about Jace and Clary as like side characters in this book, and I'm like, huh, it's weird because I read like their whole story, and well, not their whole story. I stopped at City of Heavenly Fire, but I read it like so many years ago, and it's like I know all about them, and now they're just kind of there. They're just side characters. But it's cool because they're the ones that brought me into the Shadowhunter world to begin with. City of Bones was the first Cassandra Clare book I read a long time ago, so props to that. I think it's weird and cool how they just don't know anything about the mundane world, like nothing, although it can be helpful, like with Diana changing to a trans woman, or yeah, trans woman, and Tai being, oh, what's it called? What's it called? And with Tai being different, so it really could help like benefit them if they actually like learned about the mundane world. But Emma's like, wait, what is this? What is this? Like throughout the book, and I'm like, okay. They have like no interaction with the humans. Also, I like Kieran's character progression because he starts out so cold. I guess you can blame that as being in the hunt and his father being the king of Seelie, which his dad is horrible, so that would make sense that he's a little bit cold. But since he loves Mark and he's in their lives, the whole like 3 books, he turns into such a great guy. I'm not gonna spoil anything about the next 2 books because I might do a book review on those ones too. Oh, and also on page 177, the library, like the Los Angeles Institute Library, when they talk about it, it's like, rebuilt it was glass and steel, the floor polished mountain ash, smooth shining, and like large collection of books, and it's just like they're talking about more of the interior, and it's just like, I want to see it, I want to be there. I would love to live in a library. My own library. It'd be weird to live in a public one. Anyway, along with Kieran's character progression, I like Mark's because he forgot about his life. Like he thought he was just still dreaming when he got back, so he was like cold towards everyone, and he didn't know how to fit in, how to be a shadow hunter again. He thought of himself as like a fairy now and just not able to go back. Oh, and then the part where Jules gets hit by the poisonous arrow, which is by Perfect Diego, but we don't find that out till later, and Emond's like freaking out and like none of the ruins are working, and then they use their I don't know how to say this word, Parabati, like love whatever. She doesn't know that she's in love with him yet, although it plays a factor here because there's no way he should have been healed. So she heals him, and it's like, she's like, oh my god, I think I love him. I'm like, yeah, you do like him, obviously. And then another line I like between Julian and Mark, because he really hates, well, I don't want to say hate, Julian doesn't hate Mark, he's just so angry towards him because Mark leaving or being forced to leave forced Julian to like take care of the kids and everything. Now that he's back, the kids are like, oh yeah, Mark can take care of us, and Julian's like, you forget everything I've done for you. But when Mark's just recently back and he says, they're talking about strawberries, and then he's like, it's been many years since I have eaten freely at my choice, fair one, and a plate of strawberries is all that I desire. And then Julian's like, you don't have to sound like a medieval fairy poem. That's funny. And he's like, you need to act like a human being, a normal human being. And he's like, I'm trying. I just think it's horrible that Malcolm pretended to be their friend the entire time, when in reality, every time he like watched a movie with them or ate pizza with them, he was like, I'm gonna sacrifice one of you. Like, that's fucked, honestly. Also, at the end, can you imagine the Hands of Glory, that little resurrection thing? It's like a, oh, that was my laundry. It's like a candelabra, I guess they describe it as. So it's like a candelabra with like, each spike has a hand on it, just like facing to the ceiling. What a weird picture. It kind of reminds me of like the FIFA trophy, but like grosser and weirder. And the ending, like, I know it's young adult and most, like, one of the main characters is always so stupid at the end, but Emma's like, Mark, we need to pretend we're dating. And then he's like, why pretend? And I was like, hey, you guys don't even like each other. Why are you just gonna, let's date? That's so stupid. And she's just doing it to hurt Jules. Well, she's not doing it to hurt him. I understand where she's coming from. She's doing it so that he doesn't love her anymore, so their ruins stop like burning and this curse like doesn't happen. So Mark doesn't know that they're in love. He thinks she's doing this because she doesn't want Cameron to know she's single, or she uses Cameron as an excuse, even though she obviously loves Julian, and she just didn't want to tell Mark because then he wouldn't want to hurt his brother, which I understand. But I think it's poor Julian. Like, he's such a kind soul, and I know she's not hurting him on purpose, but it does hurt him to see her with Mark, and I just think it's so bad. Poor Julian. But anyway, that's exactly how it ends, is why pretend? It's like Mark saying that. But the next two books, shit goes down. Which I'll probably do a review on those two. This was just a short review because I didn't have a piece of paper with me and stop while I was reading it. I don't love to do that. I like to just read the story in full. Like, doing that, I did it with Life of Pi. It just kind of reminds me of like school. So we'll see how these review goes. They're probably going to be short ones, but overall, I believe I rated it a 5 out of 5 on Goodreads. I definitely recommend this book. I honestly think that it's my favorite Cassandra Clare series. Honestly, I think City of Bones is my least favorite Cassandra Clare series. Like, I read City of Bones like when I was younger, like when it first came out. So I read up to City of Heavenly Fire just before it came out. Like, it wasn't out yet, so I didn't read it, and I kind of just, when it came out, I was like, you know, I don't really want to read it. And like all the, I don't know how many books is before City of Heavenly Fire, 4, 5, anyway, all those 4 or 5 books kind of blended together for me, and I just didn't want to reread them, didn't want to reread City of Heavenly Fire. Like, maybe I'll pick it up and try it again. It's just, I like the Clockwork Prince, Clockwork Princess series, but I love this series. It's so good. So if you haven't read this, go do it, because it's totally worth it. It's a bit hefty. Actually, the third one's bigger. Each book gets bigger. Well, it's not too much bigger. No, it's quite a bit bigger. You just can't tell on camera. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this short little review. I'm definitely going to try to do more reviews on my channel. That is the goal. So yeah. So if you like this video, give it a thumbs up and let me know what books you want me to review next. I'm good with rereading old ones and like reviewing those as well, because I've read a lot already and I know a lot of popular ones that people kind of want reviews on. Or I'm always looking forward to trying new books, so let me know down below what you think I should do, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!